Hello and welcome to an introduction to using Summon. First of all, my name is T. Gorblich and I am the Social Sciences Librarian here at the University of Michigan Dearborn's Mardigian Library. And after this tutorial, if you have further questions, you can contact me at the contact information I provided on the screen here. And again, we are going to be talking about the Summon Discovery Tool option as far as doing research here at the University of Michigan Dearborn. First of all, just a little bit about what Summon is and what Discovery is. Summon is a tool that will allow you to look through the entirety of the library's collection. So you will be able to find out information with this one search option, what is available in the book form, the print form, as well as the ebook form within the library. You will also be able to locate information about articles that are included in the 400 plus databases that the library has access to. And you will be able to find many of these in the full text form. So let's go ahead and get into the tutorial on using Summon. Now, to begin your research within the Summon Research tool, you need to be at the library's homepage, which can be found at library.umd.umich.edu. And at the library's homepage, you will see the Search Summon box, and this is where you will begin your search within the Summon Research tool. So if you go ahead and type in a search, within that box, you will be off and searching the Summon Research tool. And I am going to search for material on baseball. That is a very general and broad search term, but I think that it will work for our purposes here. You can input any term you want within the search window. It's just that when you go and do your search, you are going to have to do some refining to that search, as you'll see when we get there. So I will just plug in the phrase baseball, and then I will be off and searching once I click on go. And as you see, we have over 10,300,000 results. So that is an enormous amount of material to sift through. And that is likely the only pitfall of doing research within this particular tool, because you are now being given so many things that you have to really do a lot of refining from this point forward. But refining is something that you can do, and you can get this search results list down to a more manageable amount of material. Now, if you want, you can by all means start looking through some of these resources to possibly find something that you need. It's very possible that you could have some success with the first search screen here or results screen here and find some things. But I would recommend looking on the left-hand side of the page to notice the ways by which you can refine your search results. So we could maybe possibly indicate that we want to find full text only material. That is an option that you can do. So if we click on full text uh, online, we are now being given a list of items that only are in the full text or available online. So we could do that. If, say, for instance, your professors have a requirement that the material needs to be scholarly or peer reviewed, you could indicate that. But I'm not going to do that at this point. And limiting it to full text online only um, didn't really reduce it by that much. So we're going to have to think about other ways by which to reduce this results list. So we can look at content type. What kinds of materials do you want? Do you want newspapers, magazines, journal articles, book reviews, books, or ebooks? A lot of times your professors will indicate the kinds of materials or the types of materials that you can use. So if you are looking for, scholarly material, you're going to probably be limiting this search to journal articles because uh, journal publications are where the scholarly items are going to appear and the peer-reviewed items are going to appear. But I'm just going to go down this list on the left-hand side of the screen and just explain these things to you. And you can also limit it to a publication date. Okay, if the date is a concern, then you will need to think about this, and you can limit it to the most recent year if you want, and that would be a surefire way to get this results list reduced by quite a bit. So we can do that, and we can think about the disciplines too. What area of coverage are you thinking about? Are you looking at this from a business perspective, a history perspective? However you are looking at it, you might want to indicate the discipline so that we can reduce the results that way. And then within all of these results here, there are subjects, there are a focus of the materials. So you could indicate that you want to look at particular subjects within these materials. Now, the difference between subject terms and maybe discipline terms is that the discipline selection will most likely give you a particular magazine or journal coverage. So you'll be getting specific publications that relate to that discipline. And that's not necessarily the case with limiting it to subject terms. Okay, so keep that in mind when going forward. So these are the major ways that you can limit this search. All right, so we're going to do some limiting. I want to find journal articles on this topic. And I'm actually going to go back up and limit it to scholarly as well, because I want a perspective from scholars on this subject. And then I'm going to limit this discussion to the last 5 years. So I can take that slide bar or that and just move it over, and I'll get to approximately 2010, and I'll stop right there at 2010, and that will limit the search by quite a bit as well. And you can also choose it through selecting dates as well. Okay, so now we're down to only 15,000 items. So we still got a lot to look through, but it still is something that is manageable with respect to reducing this search results list. So let's see here. Maybe I could take look at the discipline area and see what is available. I want to look at maybe I'm going to look at it from a history and archaeology perspective. I would just like maybe a historical perspective, but that's what we're dealing with. So I will take a look at history and see what is available there. So now I'm going to be getting materials from these kinds of publications. So if you look at like American Studies, Archaeologies, OAH Magazine of History, Reviews in American History. So you see that we're dealing now with those discipline oriented publications. And I can limit the subjects, and that will help reduce the search as well. And they come up in this column next to it, just like the previous filter did. So let's see here. What do I want to maybe limit this to? So I'm looking for baseball from a historical and archaeological discipline area, but what is the subject that maybe I want to pull out of this here? So let's just go with just history. And so how many are we dealing with now? We are down to 176 results. So that's a really manageable list at this point. Okay, we can go from here and we can take a look at some of these articles. So if I want this, for instance, 30 years of baseball history, a player's notes, I could click where it says full text online, and the full text of the article, or the point where you can access the full text of the article, will come up. So you can click where it says full text PDF, and then you'll see the article. Okay, and then you can print it out, email it to yourself, however you want to treat it, it's up to you. Another neat thing about a lot of the tools that you'll see more and more now is that you can click where it says cite, and you'll be able to get the citation for this particular article. And you'll have options of looking through this list here to see what citation style you want, and you can select that citation style, and then you can copy and paste this citation into whatever document you're working on. So it's a really good way to make sure that you're getting the correct citation. Okay, so there are a lot of other features of the Summon Research tool, but this is a basic introduction to this particular research tool. And that concludes this tutorial on utilizing the Summon Discovery Tool research option available here at the University of Michigan Dearborn's Mardigian Library. If you have further questions about this resource or any of the resources that the library offers, please feel free to contact me at the contact information I have once again provided on the screen.